And welcome everybody to today's class on the A series with SU series. It works as well. We have a wonderful class put together for you. I should say Myra does. This is going to be really cool. This is like those days in school where you come in and they have the projector set up and you say, "Oh, movie day." So we're going to show some movie clips that Myra recorded, and we're going to talk about them and how she's doing some of these things and what she's doing. But to explain a little bit more, I'm going to turn it over to her. But remember, when we're playing some of these clips, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have everybody muted because I can't see if you unmute yourself while I'm sharing a video. So there's a
Sean,
Your
yes,
your
ma'am.
your
your
voice is
sound.
not carrying.
It's not carrying.
No,
No,
Uh-oh.
It is on this end.
Jerome's is.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what I did? I leaned
What?
up against the organ here, and it just leaned right on the volume button. Go figure. Goodness gracious.
Quit leaning, Sean.
Well, thank you guys for helping me out there. I'm glad you could unmute yourselves there. So, okay, well, let's keep moving on then. And I'm going to introduce Myra. And, she's going to talk about what we're doing today a little bit, and then we'll have a song.
I have looked forward to today all month because I don't get to see you that often. So it's wonderful to be with you all now. What I have done is I have gone into the organ and I have located my favorite kinds of sounds. Let's face it, a Lowry organ has wonderful sounds. That's what it's known for. But you don't always know where to find them. So I'm going to help you know where to find them. And we have two sheets that we will show you later that have everything that I am talking about on these two sheets so that you can reference them and find the sounds that you want to find. And the first song that I'm going to play for you is a wonderful song that was introduced in 1988 by Whitney Houston at the Olympics, the Summer Olympics in South Korea. It was the first time the song was ever done, and it's called One Moment in Time, which is kind of the theme song of the Olympics now. It is a wonderful song, and I love playing it. Okay, Seth,
All
John.
right, so let's roll the clip here. This is fun. Here we go. Whoops, it started a minute in. There we go. Beautiful.
Isn't that a
Beautiful.
beautiful song? It really is. And fun to play and not hard. And they are some of the sounds that we are going to talk about today because I love using the Lowry sounds. They're so easy to find. And I know you can find them with numbers, and that's fine. But sometimes you don't want to have to go to your manual and find the numbers. It'd be nice to know where they are, where you could just put your hands on them. If you want to start the video, we'll start
Yeah,
with the
right
first
before we
group.
start, we do have a hand raise, so let me get to that before we start rather
All
than
right.
after. Go ahead, Kathy. You got a question?
No, that's a mistake. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. No worries at all. So I'm gonna start the video here. Keep in mind throughout the video, this I'm just gonna play a little bit of it at a time because it'll go about 30 or so minutes. So, but like I said, I'll take several breaks throughout and we'll take questions. So feel free and raise your hand at any time, okay? So here we go. Let's get started on finding some cool sounds.
Today, I would like to take you on a treasure search. We're going to find those wonderful sounds that make your music sound so good. Those sounds are hidden to a lot of people, but once you know where they are, they're no longer hidden. I have 2 pages for you that will be accessible so you can take those home and use them, and we're going to go through those sounds now. In the front of your organ, you have banks, A, B, C, D, E, or A, B, C, or A, B, C, D. You have 10 general presets, and you have category presets. Those are easily accessible. I call that on the dashboard. You can get to those sounds without having to push a lot of buttons. If you have an E organ, you have a button where all of your categories live. So you can go into that button and find all the categories. But you too have banks and general presets. If we go to preset bank A, we have beautiful Lowry organs. Lowry is known for its beautiful organ sounds, and those you can use anytime you want by themselves with an easy button or with a rhythm. Under B, we have hiding under number 9 the great Lenny D, who was one of the best and greatest organists of all time, one of the most popular. And he had a specific sound. He had a sound that was a Hammond organ, and it had just his sound. And we've recreated, well, I haven't, but Lowry did, under B9. And you also have a guitar on the bottom. A great sound for Latin music, because that is a lot of what Lenny did. He also did a lot of other kinds, and you can use Lenny with anything you want. If we go to C, C is where our big classical organ lives. And under 10, you have a beautiful pipe organ, and on the bottom you have a gorgeous choir, and the choir is in harmony. So all you have to do with 2 fingers is sound fantastic. again, under C, and there it is. D is one of my favorite places. D is a symphony orchestra. And one of the wonderful sounds that I use a lot, and I did it in my Over the Rainbows, is the zero, which is tremolo strings on top and a cello on the bottom. Now you say, I can't do that. I can't play my left hand on the upper keyboard. Yes, you can. All I was doing was playing single notes and playing single notes on the bottom. So you can get a beautiful background with the tremolo strings, and then you have a perfect cello on the bottom. Under number 3, you have wonderful French horns. And a choir. Now, that's not to say there aren't a lot of other beautiful sounds in here, because every one of these is wonderful. I'm just giving you the highlights and where I like to use them. When I want an oboe, number 8, lower keyboard, beautiful oboe. Put it with a gorgeous harp. Beautiful, easy to find, easy to use. I call number E the silly sounds. You have pops, you have bees, you have a lot of animals under green acres, you have birds, and here's Carrie. When Carrie does Phantom, his voice is right here. It's under number 7, and he does his Phantom here. Don't tell him I told you. He likes to keep that a secret, okay? Now we're going to go to our...
All right, so that was the first segment here. So that was bank presets, right? So we talked
Yep.
about, let me do this here. Whoops, wrong way.
Mhm.
I wanted to add so we can both be on here. But those were the bank presets here. So what I'd like is to see if they have any questions here on anything bank presets. And while you're raising your hands, or let me see if I'll hit the allow to unmute button. If you ever want to unmute now, you can. But I will say we did something special there. She did something special where you could see on the screen what those sound choices were when she was picking them out. So I'd like to see if anybody knows how to do that here. If you can unmute and just say it. Does anybody know how to bring that up on the screen, all those sound choices?
No, I don't have that kind of screen.
Okay, I see. Inez, go ahead, Inez. How do we do that?
You go to custom 4.
Custom 4 winner.
Good girl.
Wait, here we go. All right, yeah, custom number 4. It brings up all the different sounds depending on what bank you're in. So if you're in A bank, B bank, C bank, it'll tell you what's in each of those, as well as what we're going to talk about next. So let's see, we've got a question from Marianne Townsend. Go ahead.
Well, Myra mentioned harp. Does she mean the golden harp buttons? I got 2 golden harp. Was that what you were talking about?
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. And
Okay.
just to show it off, because an oboe is such a beautiful instrument. So I wanted something with it that was as beautiful as it is. So I just added the golden harp.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
good.
keep in mind for any of those sounds that she showed and used, all she had on for all of them was just the easy button on the left hand. So she just used the easy button, played a melody on the top with the sounds and the bottom with what she was given. And yeah, for that one, it sounds nice if you have it, you can add in that golden harp sound. Just makes it really pretty.
Also,
Hello.
let me just put in, he loved to arrange. I love to arrange. So
Can
I
you-
love to know where sounds are that I can get to quickly. A golden harp is easy to get to.
All right, any more questions? And we'll go on to the next little segment, which I believe is going to be general presets. So I hope you're taking notes. There's a lot of good stuff in here. So any more questions? We're going to talk about general presets here. General presets. Let me cue it up just a little bit because I think I goofed for a second on that video here. Okay. Okay. It might play a little bit of what we already saw, but that's okay. So here we go. We saw this part. We saw this part. I guess I accidentally rewound it. Sorry, folks. Oh wait, that's the sorry, that's the general presets part. I'm fast forwarding over. I guess I went too far. Okay, here we go.
They're all good. I'll show you my favorites. Number 4. Number 4 is strings. And the strings are especially beautiful because they're low strings. There are string basses, cellos, and violas. I'm going to go to 7 where my choir lives. Back to 4. Back to 7. And under 5, your beautiful chimes. Did you notice that in my left hand there was a choir singing? So while I was playing the chimes with my right hand, my left hand had a choir that was singing in harmony. That's the beauty of your general presets. For me, there are a lot of other beautiful sounds. Probably the one of the most popular is number 8, the piano and strings. Beautiful sound. Doesn't matter what you want to play with it. Those are right there, easily accessible. You can put your hands on them in your general presets. 4 strings, and on the bottom you have violins, by the way. 5 chimes with a flute on the bottom. 7 a choir, and it has a what's called a piccolo trumpet. And a piccolo trumpet is extremely high. You may not want to use it too often. It's an octave higher than a B flat trumpet. So there may be an occasion, if you want it, there it is. The piano and strings have a trombone on the bottom. All of those are right there at your fingertips. Now we're going to go into the categories. And on the front, I have a country, a big band, a show, and a Latin. You may have some or may not have all of them, but if you have them and you have a country, you have a wonderful, under number 1, when I am looking for a nice country guitar and a nice, let's see,
Okay, I think, but before we get into the categories here, I kind of want to explain something that you saw there. uh, she was using general presets, okay? And let's see. Don't see anything but Myra. Is the video going? Was the video, did you guys see the video there? Okay, might have just been that screen there. Hopefully there wasn't an issue, but that was the video of Myra showing general presets, and the way to access those is very, very easy. Let me actually show you while her video was up there. I can show you just the screen that you were looking at. So let me share that, and I'm going to leave her on pause here for a second and just show you. Oh, we got people coming in the room still. So what she was doing and what we're talking about today is all of these what are called bank presets over here. That's what we started with. And what she's showing, or what she just finished showing, I should say, is the general presets. And the way to access those is make sure none of these are on, none of these are on, and none of these are on. And then you get what are called general presets. That'll just kind of go with anything. Okay, so those are great, great sounds just built in as long as you have those rhythm presets off, bank presets off, and what she's going to talk about now is category presets. So any questions on those general presets? A lot of good stuff in there. Oh, let me hit unmute if you'd like to. You can unmute yourself if you have a question. No questions.
Oh, yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, wait, you do.
Okay, go ahead.
I was wondering on the general presets, can you use two at the same time, or you can only use one of the buttons? I notice if I press one and then change to another, the other light goes off. So
Yep.
I guess you can only use one general preset, but can you get two sounds from that? Because you're mentioning that you can get two sounds, one for upper and one for lower. Does that automatically happen when you press the one button?
Yep, yep. Any button that you press, 1 through 10 here, it's going to give you not only a sound on the top keyboard, but an extra one on the lower right as well. So you do have two sounds for every button here. And like you said, yeah, you just do one at a time because the whole purpose is not to put them all together because then you'd have a bunch of noise going on. But you just do one at a time. So you start with one sound, play it, go to the next sound, play that one, go to the next one. And then you can arrange a whole song with them.
Okay,
And
thank you.
the beauty, Sean, is they're right in front of you. You don't have to go far to get them.
No.
Yep, there's no secret code to press. Just
No,
just turn off the other sounds that you have.
You don't
and
need a
they're in
password.
there. Yeah,
no.
Get in. I'm glad
that
for
would be frustrating.
Yes, it would.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and show. We're going to start with some of these category presets because these are where the best sounds live. I think. I think
Yes.
we can agree on that. There's a lot of good sounds in the categories, and obviously, you know, the higher you go instrument-wise in the line, you know, the more categories you have. So we'll talk about some at first that, you know, I think most everybody should have starting out. When I paused the video, she was about to start talking about the country category presets.
I did not use the theater category because I talk about a different theater category later. So
Yeah.
if you like theater, it's there. It's just not one that I use in arranging.
Yep. Yeah, and obviously we can't go through all of them because there's like,
No.
you know, tons in some of these. So, but we're going to talk about the best ones. So if you're taking notes, write some of this stuff down. So here we go. Put this back up. Hit play. Make sure we can hear it. Give me a thumbs up if you can
Nice.
hear it.
Let's see, a nice pretty harmonica on the bottom. I go to country one. Nice combination, country guitar and harmonica. Easy to use, easy to find. When I go to number 9, and this is a favorite of a lot of people, I happen to have beautiful Floyd Kramer. And you notice sometimes I use rhythm, sometimes I don't. It doesn't matter. I can do it either way. Number 10, you have nice fiddles. Another harmonica. Right there under country, easy to get to, easy to use. Under big band, one of my favorite big band sounds happens to be Ray Anthony, who lives under 0 in big band. You have a block piano on the bottom. Beautiful. Ray Anthony has a brass sound where the Glenn Miller sound with the saxes and the clarinets. I like the brass sound, so I like Ray Anthony. Again, big band category is filled with the wonderful, great sounds, but they also are located somewhere else. If you needed it in a hurry, you have a trombone under number 1, a clarinet under 3. If I go to Latin now, another category, and I'm going to go back for a rhythm on this because it's easy to find. I'm going to go to a bossa nova again. We used to say, when in doubt and you're doing Latin, use the bossa nova. Okay, I have a bossa nova and I have Latin on. And my number 1 is a beautiful trumpet. On the bottom, the Spanish guitar. Now, when you're looking for a flute, an easy flute, number 7, but it has a duet on it, which is fine if you want a duet. You can turn duet off and have just a flute. You have a pan flute on the bottom. Society piano. Another great piano, strong, the Peter Duchin sound. And I can jump around. 1, accessible. It's on your dashboard. Everything I've shown you so far is on the dashboard. Now I'm going to.
Okay, any questions on those ones that we talked about that are on the dashboard there? Because we're gonna show some more too that are inside another button on here called More, where you get more of them. So, Marianne, go ahead. You got a question?
Yes, I do. You mentioned some performers that I love and I haven't heard in a long while, Floyd Kramer and Ray Anthony. Mm-hmm. Are they available on all organ makes, or like I have the 10 presets? Are they the same sounds on organ of that nature?
Or they should be more or less the same if you have that category. Now you have a legacy, so
I
I know
got a
you have a
legacy,
couple of
right.
those. Yeah. So you
So I
should
can
have a
still
couple of
get
those.
Ray Anthony and Floyd Kramer on those?
Not Ray
No,
Anthony, but I
Oh,
think you've got Floyd
you
Kramer
deployed.
in the country button. If you go to
uh,
country number 9, I believe, right?
okay.
Yeah.
I got 10 of them. I only had 8 when I was the Odyssey, but I went to Legacy and now I got all 10.
There you go. Good.
Yeah.
Sean, someone asked what I was playing on. I am playing on a Patriot.
Okay.
Patriot.
That was
Patriot.
a question.
Yeah.
And Liz, you have a question as well? Go ahead.
I do. How can I find out who all of these people are? I mean, is there a list of this person is on this button?
No, we have
Not
Ray.
really.
Really.
That's
You just have
our
to
job
listen.
security. That's our job security. That's where we're here to tell you. So
I'm
yeah,
gonna have to start writing it down.
there you go. Yeah, and afterward we will give you. We have a couple sheets of paper. Well, actually, digital sheets of paper that I'll put in the chat a little later. Just kind of everything she's talking about. Just some general notes that if you're on a computer, you can download from there. It doesn't let. I don't know if it lets you if you're on an iPad with the chat
No,
download feature, but
it does
but
not.
that's okay because we're gonna add it to our Patreon as well, and it should be, no
Any
charge or
chance
anything
you
like
could
that.
email it?
I'll check
Hey.
with Robert, but it's a big pain to attach things a lot of the time for him. So we like to put it
Okay.
on the Patreon so anybody could just see it and download it as needed.
Hey, I've
And
got,
also,
I also wanted to comment on Ray Anthony brass that we call that the elegant brass. 'Cause it was
Elegant
the
absolutely.
brass.
first time that we had not a screeching brass, not a
Oh,
hot brass, but we got Ray Anthony brass and it was known as the elegant brass.
It is very elegant.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Sounds great with a lot of reverb, I think, too.
hey, I've got a Palladium and mine's got lush category on my Palladium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's got a whole category of sounds coming off of the lush.
Yeah, we're going to talk.
Yeah, that's one of the categories. We might not have it in this segment here, but we'll talk about that later. But we talked about a lot of the different presets. So we'll cover a couple more here too, because we're going to go inside now. We talked about the ones on the panel, or at least some of them. And now if you have it, some of you have a button that says More, where you get more categories in your touch screen. And what's nice is if
Before
you
you
have...
do that, can Chuck ask a question?
Say that again? Sorry.
Before you go there, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I have a Stardust. Will the category preset choices show up on the screen on the Stardust?
Yep, if you touch that More button, yeah. So if you... It's right next to those ones on the front. It says, country, big band, Latin, and then one of them on the panel here, it should say More. If it doesn't say More, you don't have More. And that's as easy as it gets there. So if you touch More, they should just pop up right on your touch screen and give you several more options.
Very good, thank you.
Yeah. So, all right, well, let's go to that then and see what else we got cooking in our More button. Okay, so let me click the share screen button one more time. Here we go. Now we're going inside.
Go into More. And under More, some of you have these, some of you don't, and that's okay. The ones that have it, you enjoy it. The ones that don't, you enjoy what you have. Most of you will have the sacred. Now the difference here in the sacred, the bells that are in the sacred, is they are carillon bells, and carillon bells seem to be stronger. You have handbells on the bottom for Christmas. So far, we have talked about Lowry organs, which are sweet, beautiful organs, and we've talked about classical organs. Well, now you have what's called a full gospel organ, which is fun to play with. And it's already got the AOC on for you, so. Piano. Beautiful, full gospel organ, ready to go. AOC is already turned on. You have piano in the lower right hand, and the piano already has harmony on, so you can have a lot of fun with that one. Another good one is number 10. Now we're back to our classical organs. Classical organ automatically has AOC on, and it has chimes on the bottom. Easy to get to, beautiful sound. Now you're coming to one of my favorites, the nostalgic. The nostalgic is loaded with great sounds. You have under 0, Louis Armstrong, regular Louis, and Louis with what's called the shake. You have Harry James under 1. And Benny Goodman on the bottom with the clarinet. Tommy Dorsey on the trombone. Jimmy on the sax. That was number 0 is Louis. Number 1 is Harry and Benny. 2 is Tommy and Jimmy. Number 4, probably one of my all-time favorites, is the Stradivarius violin on the top, the Stradivarius cello on the bottom. I'm going to put a harp with it. A better violin. They have a Stradivarius violin on the top and a Stradivarius cello on the bottom. I use them a lot. Again, that's one of my favorite sounds and I enjoy using them. Another nice one is Liberace, and he lives under number 7, and he lives in a couple of different ways, which is nice. If you go to your candelabra rhythm, that's under your classic. If you go to your special rhythms, you have Liberace, and that was Liberace in London with the London Philharmonic. This is Liberace in Las Vegas. Liberace on right hand upper, strings on lower right hand. playing, can't you? I mean, that is so Liberace. So if you go onto the classic rhythm and use Candelabra and use Mr. Showman, and it's already in your classic, but if it's not, you can go to Mr. Showman and use that sound. And if you go to the other special and you go to Mr. Showman, you can use Liberace in Las Vegas. Number 9 is a Lombardo sax with a brass on the bottom. I like 10 because I have a Lombardo brass on top and the sax on the bottom. Sax on top, on the bottom. Those sounds all live under nostalgic. Next, we're going to go to Around the World. And it's just what it's saying, instruments from around the world. So I'm going to first use the French accordion. And I have a group of accordions on top and a single accordion on the bottom. I have a beautiful mandolin orchestra. And a single one on the bottom. I have the beautiful balalaikas for Somewhere My Love. One on the bottom. So with the mandolins and the French accordions and the balalaikas, you have a group on top and a soloist on the bottom.
All right. So, any questions about anything she's talked about so far? Any at all, or any? Oh, cool. We got Inez. Let me let you unmute yourself there. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, that last one, was that under nostalgic or was that under modern?
That was, she went to at the end, Around the World is the category she went to there.
Okay, so where is that? I don't, okay, I'm under more. I have sacred, bells, jazz, nostalgic, modern, holidays, brass, and lush. Oh, wait, there's more.
Uh-huh.
I found it around
you
the
go.
world. I
Hooray.
got another page, okay?
Yeah, for those of you wondering too what she's saying, you know, they come up on the screen here, all right? And it usually shows you about 8 of them at a time. And if you have a button on the very bottom that says next, it means you
Yeah,
have another page of them. So you
Yeah,
can
I
keep
do.
looking through. It's like a book. You got a whole book of different categories in there.
yeah, right.
So
I had someone yesterday who did not know that there was a next, and they were missing all of those pages.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Hooray!
Yeah, Marianne, you have a question?
Yes, I do, Sean. It's very basic. You mentioned a 0 preset. Now, the presets go from 1 to 10. So what would be your 0 preset?
0 preset, that's a good question. If you're on an SU series,
Yes.
0 preset will just be whatever you had before, basically. Whatever you had on before you turned on the category. Because you only get sounds put in 1 through 10.
Right.
Now on the A series, and I think actually starting on the Palladium, if I don't know if I'm correct on that, or maybe it was the Prestige, I think. They start on the A series. They started putting sounds in the 0 position as well, for each category. Okay, but if it's an SU series instrument, you know, Stardust and
And it's
etc.
not numbered. There's no zero there.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
how
in
do
the
you know?
space. It's in
How
the
do you,
space above your right-hand numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You have left-hand numbers 1 through 5, and then 6 through 10. Up above the 6, that's where you'll find 0.
Yeah. If you have a touch screen, you'll see that on there.
oh, above the 6 preset,
Yeah.
the preset number
Yours,
6, above that is the 0?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yours isn't a touch screen, so you won't see that. But
No, no. Well, I got, no, it isn't
yeah.
a touch screen. It just tells me the tempo. It'll
Mm-hmm.
say bossa nova or something, and then what you put it at, whatever tempo you put it at. But it
Yep.
gives you very little information. Not like
Yep.
not like what Myra says there with all the
Mm-mm.
choices.
You'll have to come see us for a touch screen we can put in there for you. So.
Absolutely. You have some.
Every time I
You
ask
have
a
some.
question, he wants to throw me an organ.
No, just a touch screen.
Yeah.
I have to get
All right. So let's see. Any more questions before we
Yeah,
move on?
my Palladium does not have a 0. It just goes 1 through 10.
Okay, that answers that then. Yeah, that's what it is on there then. I wasn't sure on
Started
the
on the
categories.
Prestige.
Yep, started on the Prestige. So. Yep.
Yeah, I have an Imperial and it does have it.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
All the way up. Prestige on.
All righty here. I think what I'm going to do is, since we're about
Out of time.
out of time already. See, I told you,
Yep.
Myra here.
I
Okay,
know.
so what we did is
Oh.
this is kind of our announcement section here a little bit, but we've got some more coming up. We're gonna have Myra do a song, and it's gonna show a lot of the things she's talking about. She's actually gonna show one of her favorite categories, which is
Finales.
finales. Exactly.
Finales.
Yes. So
I'm doing
she's
a
gonna
whole
play through the
song with
finales.
with finales 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
All right. So
And the
before
easy
we
button.
do that, and just the easy button, there we go. And before we do that, I just wanted to mention Myra shot this at home, okay? So on a nice camera and everything like that, and she sent us the video, and it was, with all the stuff combined, it was probably going to be well over an hour and a half class. So we had to edit it down just a little bit. So there's some parts that we didn't show in this class because it would just be way too long. But what we're going to do is, we'll have this class online just like as it is on Zoom here. And then if you're a Patreon member, we're also going to put the full length, forever long class that you'll get a lot of information
49
from
minutes.
as well. Yeah, 49-minute
Sean.
class. Yeah, this one ended up just being about, for as far as the footage we used, maybe 20, 30 minutes. So there's a lot of extra stuff in there.
Are you
And
putting the 2 pages on Patreon too?
Yep, and we're going to put that on there on both the class that anybody can get, as well as you'll be able to, if you watch the full length thing, it'll be on there as well. And if you've got a computer, I just put it in the chat as well, where it's just kind of a list of all the things she talked about with more things that she didn't talk about. So I'll let her introduce our finale song today, and thanks for sticking with us and trying something new. And if you have any questions, now's the time. Any questions at all?
Any complaints?
No,
No, Myra, this is one of the most informative meetings I've ever attended.
Thank you so much. That's the old teacher in me, I'm afraid.
Thank you. It was very informative. Yeah. Thank you.
Good. I hope you go on Patreon, and I hope you get the rest of it so you can follow the 2 sheets and you'll know exactly what I'm doing. It's all written down for you. I'm going to use one of the categories called finales, which some people feel it's just for the ends of songs, but it is not. It's some of the most beautiful sounds, and I love to use it. So I'm going to do 2 songs from The Sound of Music using finales 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, just so you know what I'm doing. And I am playing on a Patriot. Julie wants to know how to get to Patreon. Sean?
How do you get to Patreon? Okay, it's a good thing I have that right on my computer here. So I'll show you. It's easy. All right. Let me do the share screen thingy. There we are. Okay, sorry about that. Here we go. Pulling it up now. So, Patreon, this is a really, really cool website. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, you really should. It's a great site for what's called content creators like us. Fletcher Music Center is now a content creator. We create videos and classes and online adventures that you can get into here. And what this site allows you to do is to keep that going and help us out with it. So you can make a monthly contribution if you'd like and become a patron is what that is called. And it just helps us continue doing that. And if you do that, you get bonus stuff. So not just, some of the classes or some of the regular classes, you get pretty much every single thing that we do at Fletcher Music, which is quite a lot. So like I said, if you are a Fletcher holic is what some people call you, or a music holic, and you just want more and more, you can become a patron and get some extra stuff that we do. And one of those extra things is, like we mentioned just a little bit ago, if you like today's class, if you're a patron, we're going to put a whole really long class that she did on that. So there's even more stuff than what we could just fit in this time slot that we have for our live class. So become a member and you get extra stuff. It's just a fun thing to do. So,
And
all right.
Sean, I want to
Mhm.
thank you for all of your help because Sean made all of this possible with all of his tech knowledge. Without him, it wouldn't have been done.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. It's kind of a fun thing
Thank you,
for me.
Sean.
So.
Thank
And
you.
I've got a question on in the chat that says, "Will this be on YouTube?" Yes, this will be on YouTube. Today's class will be on YouTube, and then,
The
like I
short
said,
version,
yep. Well, the regular version, I'd say, and then the
regular,
bonus extra long edition you can get on if you become a patron member. You can, watch anything else we do too. So, all right. So I'll let you go ahead and, well, I guess you already introduced the songs,
I
so let's
did.
go ahead and play some songs from The Sound of Music. Here we go. Give Myra a hand, everybody.
Wow.
Let you unmute yourselves there.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
I'm glad you liked it. I enjoyed playing it for you.
And now you just inspired me to go play mine and play the
Just
Sound of
gorgeous.
Music.
Very beautiful, very beautiful.
Thank you for being a part of today. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed doing it. I really
Oh, I
did.
enjoyed it very much.
Thank you. It was beautiful.
Very
I
nice,
love that music.
You're very, very welcome.
Yeah.
I look
How-
forward to being with you again sometime soon.
How long have you been playing?
Let's see. I just finished Conductor Magic First Class. No, been playing all my life. I've been playing since I was a tiny little thing, but I was piano.
Oh,
That was my
wow.
instrument.
I noticed,
Piano and
I noticed when you were playing the chords, that you playing the piano chords. Yeah.
right. Church organ and piano. I didn't know Lowry existed until 1999, 22 years ago when I joined Fletcher.
Wow.
And I was astounded that it didn't take all the practice that I was doing on the piano.
Right.
Man, that's
And
fantastic.
so much easier to have a whole orchestra or a band right under your fingers.
Oh, yeah.
Right. It's true.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Well, thanks again, everybody. Have a good rest of your day.
Okay,
Thank
you
you.
too.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, thank you.